The Father of Mineralogy by Grace Regan, Maya Philip-Zach, Matthew Roberts, and Mitchell Nuremberg. Who is the father of mineralogy? George Agricola was a well-known German scholar as well as the father of mineralogy. However, before he became a successful scientist, he grew up in Glasgow, Germany. In 1514, he enrolled at Leipzig University where he studied classics, philosophy, and philology. Once he obtained an education, he fixated on spreading it and teaching others. His first book, a Latin grammar manual, aimed at sharing practical and methodical hints for teachers. He also became a town physician at one point. Due to mining and smelting operations, he settled in several different towns with hopes of finding new drugs from metals. This led to him spending enormous amounts of time in the mines, talking with better educated miners and reading classical authors on mining to further his knowledge. These years would shape the rest of his life to provide the subject matter for most of his future books. So what is a mineralogist? Mineralogists are people who study rocks, gems, and other minerals, including their chemical and crystalline structures. With the use of geology, physics, and mathematics, they explore oils, gases, minerals, underground water, and other environmental problems. They work primarily as researchers at universities, where they develop and identify new uses for minerals. They also may work for private mining companies, where they monitor and analyze samples obtained from operations. Those who work here tend to make the most money, although another area where mineralogists may be is at museums, where they work as curators all across the world. Qualifications to become a mineralogist typically require a bachelor's degree in mineralogy or geology. Also, as some jobs may be posted as engineering positions, a background in engineering may be useful as well. In addition, the ability to collect and identify minerals from samples is absolutely crucial. One must be able to utilize various methods to determine compositions of samples collected. With this comes making accurate measurements and recording data with tools. Along with most careers, skills such as critical thinking, problem solving, and communication are also highly valued. With newly founded research at a university or within private companies, one must be able to document and present findings and data. So how does this relate to our work in Geology 201? We've already spent lots of time identifying mineral samples, whether it's determining their hardness, crystal structures, or cleavages. All of these practices directly correlate with the skills used by mineralogists on the daily. We have also gotten some practice in using tools to collect data, which is a huge asset in this area of work. Even communicating within our teams and presenting our results to the class helps grow fundamental skills needed as well. Back to George Agricola. Through George's distinctions of simple substances and compounds, he came up with a criteria for classifications of minerals: their hardness, color, consistency, solubility, smell, and taste. We were able to understand his work from our recent readings, homework assignments, and lab tasks. For example, the mineralogy lab had us use these principles of hardness, color, reactivity, streak, and luster to help us classify minerals in our lab kit. This was very similar work to George's. The importance of Agricola's work. His work in mineralogy is important because it enforces precision. Two minerals may look the same at first glance based on similar appearances, but with George's distinctions, they may properly be classified with their different properties. Furthermore, it is important to know these differences as each mineral has different uses and can give better geological context of an area where the sample came from. George made some of the first contributions to stratigraphic geology as well. He noted that rocks were laid in specific layers that occurred in a consistent order and were spread out over a large area. This was salient in understanding of the arrangements and origins of rocks. This is related to Geology 201 with our current study of rocks. We have learned about the strata as layers of sedimentary or igneous rocks formed at the surface of the earth. He was actually one of the first to distinguish between these igneous and sedimentary rocks. Again, this relates to exact topics we have discussed in our homework and labs. We learned that sedimentary rocks are formed by the accumulation of sediments and igneous rocks that are formed from molten lava or magma. Our team consisted of Grace Regan, who was the video producer, Maya Philipzak, who was our scriptwriter, Matthew Roberts, who is our job researcher, and Mitchell Nuremberg, who is our problem researcher. Thank you.